Hello, welcome to 6th Gen Farmer. This is a cool video for me because I'm doing something that I've never done before, and that is side dressing anhydrous ammonia on the corn. This has always been a job that either my dad or my brother have done, but now that I'm back full time and my brother's out spraying, my dad's actually on the other side of these trees, row crop cultivating the organic corn, I'm doing this. And there's another reason this video is really special, and that would be because if you look here on top of the 8320R, there is a GPS receiver that is not John Deere. Now, this company called Aggro GPS, so they're the same ones that make the ITC Extend that I made a video on a couple years ago. They reached out to me and they said, hey, we have a new RTK receiver that we'd like you to try out. And what they don't know was that they emailed me right in the middle of when we were having a bunch of base station issues with our John Deere receiver. We were out for like 5 days, no RTK, when we were trying to do everything. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to try your RTK receiver. And gotta say, after using it here for a little bit, not only does it work fantastic, but it makes a lot of economical sense too versus John Deere. So yeah, more coming on that. Check the oil. I just changed this yesterday, so obviously it should be pretty dang good. A little bit above the full mark, which is fine. Rather have a little bit too much than not enough. Got my safety protection on here because last night when I stopped, this tank is not empty yet, and I didn't want it to leak out overnight and cause issues, so I turned everything off. Turn it back on here quick. The tractor's been turned on for like a minute, already has RTK. So before I get into this video too far, I do just want to let you guys know that if you watch the video and you are interested in buying one of these Aggro GPS RTK receivers, there is a discount code, 6th Gen, and I'll have it down in the description too, a link down in the description to the website. So if you want 10% off one of these GPS receivers, use the code 6th Gen at checkout. Thank you Aggro GPS for being kind enough to provide my viewers the opportunity to get one of these awesome receivers 10% off. But yeah, I'll be down in the description. So side dressing is just one of those things that we don't do much of. We get almost all of our nitrogen applied in the fall by the co-op, and they come out and they chisel plow anhydrous ammonia on. They put quite a bit on, and that usually gets us through the next 2 years until we get the next corn crop in. But the only stuff that we do side dress on is the corn, or the next year's corn ground that gets hog manure put on it. So last year I made a video of me chisel plowing hog manure that was on this particular field. The reason we side dress hog manure ground is because hog manure is very inconsistent. You can have spots of high nitrogen, you can have spots of low nitrogen. When they pump out a pit, the pit has, it's not consistent throughout. So we love hog manure. We want to use it as much as we can. It's a fantastic source of fertilizer, and in fact that's all we use on the organic ground, which my dad is row crop cultivating right behind me. But on the non-organic ground, we like to come in and just put a low amount of nitrogen on mid-season like we're doing right now, just to make sure that all the corn has all the nitrogen that it needs. So right now we're only putting on 40 pounds of anhydrous ammonia, and I think only, was it 82, 83, 80, something like that. Mid 80% of that anhydrous ammonia is nitrogen, so it's not even 100% nitrogen we're putting on. So this year we have this field, which was hog manure, and then we also have the strip till field because we were not able to chisel plow on the anhydrous ammonia like we usually do. Instead we put some on with the planter, but we were not able to put enough nitrogen on with the planter. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna side dress the rest of the strip till stuff. And to make it even better this year than previous years is we're actually able to auto-steer this now. In previous years, we did not have auto or implement guidance on the planter, so the tractor wasn't able to compensate for the planter. But now that we have implement guidance, our rows are dang near perfectly straight from one end of the field to the other. And now with this RTK receiver from Aggro GPS, I mean, I am staying right at 0 the entire way. I'm not even auto pathing. This is just a 2630 straight tracking right across the field. As you can see, I'm absolutely dead center. This RTK receiver is awesome. And our John Deere RTK receivers that we've been using till now, they work great as long as the base station is working, which is an issue that we've been having lately. So the current RTK receivers that we use are line of sight or radio RTK. So you need to be able to physically see your base station that you're using, which is, in our case, is a network that is maintained by the dealership. So I pay a maintenance fee every year and I get to use the towers that the dealership has. Well, when you pay a maintenance fee and then it's down for 5 days when you really need it, you know, plus you pay what? I think we pay like $12,000 per receiver to get RTK on them. And then we paid for the AutoPath subscription and the Gen 4 monitors. So it's not like that big of a deal. Like, if we need to drive, we can drive. But when you pay oodles and oodles of money to use all this stuff and then it doesn't work, you know, what's the point? And now John Deere released Starfire RTK, which is a really cool system, it sounds like, but it's $1,500 per year per receiver. I mean, that can get expensive fast. So this Aggro GPS receiver uses what's called a CORS network. So a lot of states have them. I'll put a map up on the screen of what states have a free CORS network. And basically it's a bunch of base stations placed all around the state, and then it uses a cellular signal to get that correction signal to your receiver. So it's going to be a lot more reliable around like trees or any obstructions, you know, hills, anything that a radio RTK would struggle with. This should be able to provide a better, more reliable signal as long as you have cell service. And did I mention that this network is free? All you gotta do is make an account on the website. So I went to the Minnesota DOT website, made a free account. About a week later, they sent me my credential logins. I typed it in here on the screen, and now I have RTK for 3 years, for free. The only cost that's added after you buy the GPS receiver is if you use a SIM card in the receiver, you do need to pay for the data that's being used. I believe it's like $9 per gigabyte, which even a heavy user will probably be $100 to $200 a year, which is way less than $1,500. And it's one of those things where if you have a receiver that you don't use very often, you could pay $9 a year. You know, it's not like a set subscription cost, it's however much you use. But if you want to pay no subscriptions or any fee whatsoever, these RTK receivers are Bluetooth compatible and they have an app, and if you connect them to your phone, you can actually use your phone signal to send the correction signals to that receiver. So you can pay $0 if you want, but I trust that getting signal better than my phone. And it's been working absolutely flawlessly with, I tried it out on a Gen 4 and I'm currently using a 2630 monitor. Works flawlessly. They say it creates AutoPath lines, and it at the moment does not do implement guidance, but that update is coming soon, is what I've been told. But like, yeah, if I just go into my settings here, hit the Aggro GPS, I'm gonna have to blur out part of the screen because it shows my location. I don't want you guys to see that. But GPS signal, 100%. Accuracy, 0.6 inches. We're at basically a ½ inch accuracy right here. Currently at 22 satellites. Yesterday I was at 26. You know, probably depending on where you are and where the satellites are in the sky. But yeah, super easy interface. I mean, here's all the settings: mount settings, general settings, GPS settings, end trip settings. That's where you type in all your account information. I don't want you guys to see my stuff, so I'm not gonna click on that. Modem settings. Yeah, it's just, I was kind of surprised by how easy it was to set up. Now this GPS receiver probably isn't for everyone because, first of all, not every state has a free CORS network. Secondly, I guess they do sell a base station. So if you farm in South Dakota and you farm, and everything that you farm is within 20 miles where that base station is going to be located, then you're fine, right? You can have your own personal RTK network and use these receivers and still be cheaper than John Deere. But if you farm over a really wide area, or you're like a custom combiner or something, you know, you're traveling all across the United States, probably not the GPS receiver for you. But for my family, where we farm all in one state, I mean, granted, Iowa does have a free course network too, so I could just switch the network over if we did farm in 2 states. But, you know, where we farm all in one state, and there's a free course network, like, the more I use it, the more it makes sense. We only have one right now, and I don't know. It might be worth upgrading the whole, or switching the entire system over to this. I don't know. I think it might be. I mean, I'm just looking on Fastline auctions right now, and there are Starfire 6000 receivers with RTK already on them for sale, used for like 15 to 16 grand. For that amount of money, we could switch our entire farm. That's just for one receiver, that's 16 grand. For that same amount of money, I could switch over my entire farm to these Aggro GPS ones and have like 4 GPS receivers. 5, no, probably 4. Yeah. It's very tempting. We're gonna have to use a little bit more, but like if it keeps performing the way it is right now, I don't know. Plus, I get 10% off if I use my own code. Use the code 6Gen, get 10% off this awesome receiver. This is, I don't know, makes a lot of sense to me. I'm sure it's not, I'm sure people have, you know, other opinions and things about it that might work or might not, but I mean, but all the GPS talk aside, I am at 103.2 acres. So I'm gonna get to this end, and that'll probably be the end of this tank. It's gotta be getting pretty dang close to empty. So we'll switch out. My dad's coming over with a new tank for me, and we'll get this one switched out, and then we'll probably be pretty dang close to finishing the farm with one more tank, and then I'll head over to the strip till. 105 acres out of that last one. How many acres do I have left? I got 88 acres remaining, and I've put 3 acres in this tank, so I'll be plenty good to finish this field and maybe start the next one a little bit. Now, one thing that's kind of neat about this bar, so it's a fast bar, so like the same company that makes the sprayer, our awesome sprayer by the way, they made this bar and then their Yetter units, but we're only applying every other row. So there's the units themselves are spaced 60 inches apart rather than 30 inches apart. And when I was a kid, we had 2 side dressers. We had one that was a 12 row every single row, and this is a 24 row every other row, and there was 0 yield difference between the 2. So it seems like for the little bit that we apply, every other row works fine because each row of corn can access the nitrogen from one side. And yeah, so it allows us to have a fairly light unit, do 60 foot wide, get done a lot faster, put a lot less tracks through the field, and it works pretty good. Now when we go to the strip till, because we're going to be applying so much more nitrogen because it needs it, we're going to actually go across the field twice, so that way we get every single row. Well, we made it to 10:16. Lunchtime. Got this. I actually packed myself some lunch today. I usually don't do that very often. I got 2 PB&Js, some water, and some Sun Chips. They'll get me through. Okay, I got 1 strip left to do. This is kind of an awkward spot because there's point rows and stuff here. So once I get this all figured out, got this last pass, and then I am done. I'm gonna go switch tanks. I'm gonna start the new farm for new tank. I'm not gonna have a half empty tank when I start the new field. And then we'll get to that. Wait, I missed it already? Crap. I don't know what's going on here. Ah, my front end's so light I can't turn. There we go. I got it figured out. 63.4 acres in that one. We didn't end up doing the entire field because I forgot there was a little square that the co-op did. But yeah, next field we go. Okay, hydraulic 3 does the wings. The first set of wings. I did the hydraulics backwards. Then hydraulic 1 does the inner wings. There we be. Woo! Stenchy. Oh. My bad. Actually, Dad's one that hooked it up. I'll blame that on him. Definitely didn't just pull that down the road like that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I need to disconnect that. I need my gloves. I know, I look hot. Well, they made that hard. Back up, get everything to click back together, go forward really slow, make sure it's all actually engaged. Back up one more time. Okay. I think we're good. Let's go. Okay, here we are. Right here is the conventional till, and right here is the strip till. You can tell by how much trash there is left here. There's no trash over there. Like I said in the last video, this field of corn is probably our most beautiful field of corn we have. You can't even tell where a strip till's been. It's just an even sea of green. But this is gonna be kind of interesting because this is a field with the worst cell phone reception. The GPS receiver uses cell phone reception, so we'll see if I can go back and forth without losing cell RTK signal, cell connection. If you do lose cell connection, you're supposed to be able to maintain the RTK signal for 4 minutes. So it's definitely like when I get down to the bottom of the hill, it doesn't take me 4 minutes to turn around. So I'll maintain RTK the whole time, but I just want to see how cell connection works. But I got to get these pins in these wings, turn the tank on, and then we'll get started. Also be a good time for me to eat my PB&J. I haven't had one of these in 6 years, maybe more. Was never a really big PB&J fan growing up. More of a ham sandwich guy, but they're pretty good. So I'm down at the bottom. This is where we basically never have any cell phone reception. My phone is at 1 bar. If I remember correctly from talking to Andrew over at Aggro GPS, I think that, well, first of all, it's a really, really powerful modem that's in these receivers, so it's really strong, a lot stronger than your cell phone probably is. And second of all, I think they can pull off more than one company's towers. I think they can pull off multiple towers, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But either way, I don't really care, it's working good. Okay, I'm now at 60 acres. I just checked the tank level, I'm at 10%. And these things are kind of odd because it's like a compressed gas type of thing that when you get down to like 10%, you're basically out. Think of like a spray can. Like when it gets empty, like a little bit comes out, but you know, it's not empty, there's still a little bit in there, but like not enough comes out to spray. Same thing with this. So I'm at 10%. The tank that I need's at the other end of the field, so I'm just gonna drive to the other end to fit up because we don't want to shortchange any corn of nitrogen. Okay, there we go. The wind is going straight down, no wind. There's a little bit. It's kind of going that direction, so actually if I just unhook it right there and then hook the new one up, yeah, that should be okay. Okay. So I'm hooking it up, wind's blowing that way. If I'm on this side, it'll blow it away from me. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Ka-chow. It's just the wind is so stale down here. I'm kind of afraid of this, so I brought my gallon jug of water to wash my eyes out with if I need to. Just set that right there. Oh boy. Why do they make these things so dangerous to get up and down on? Put a ladder on here or something. Always so hard to line up. Just do the best you can, maybe a little bit further. There we go, let's try that. Oh, I forgot the hitch pin. Dang it. Sucks. Why do they make these hitches so heavy? Woo. I don't need my gloves on for this part. Okay. this out of the way. Let's lift that 3-point up. Move this out of the way so I can hook that up and get that past this, because right now I'm kind of taking up the whole thing. Whoops. I'm getting kind of tired. I do like single caps for backing stuff up. That is nice. Oh my gosh. Even when they're empty, they're heavy. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, let's test out this Aggro GPS on this pretty big ravine right here. Hold through. Hold through. Oh, it's pulling back up. Not a single corn plant ran over. Here's the thing, I adjusted the sensitivity, made it more sensitive. Now it's like earlier, it was really good. Now it's like it is just glued to the center of that row, through all these ravines even. Like, I called my girlfriend and I was like, hey, you know that GPS thing I was testing out? Like, I really, really like it. I think it's better than John Deere. And she's like, that's a lot coming out of your mouth. I'm like, yeah, and you're right. I'm not gonna deny that. But this is my last pass right here of the field, and then I gotta go back and do it all again. So, yeah. Because the co-op did 120 foot from the headlands and 60, 120. So there's probably like a 10-foot gap in there, but I'm just gonna start heading back. It's gonna be a late night. It's like, what time is it? It's 6:30. I don't remember what time I started this, but it was like 2. So it's gonna be 1 or 2. Yeah, it's gonna be a late night. Lights are on. Everything's going good. I have 1 tank needed to finish a farm, I believe. Yeah, I'm getting pretty dang close. I only need to go to here. There's a lot on the coverage map that way that you can't even see me. A lot on the coverage map that direction that you guys cannot see. But progress is being made, and I just want to get this done tonight because I'm done with anhydrous ammonia for the year. Only had the 2 fields. So Dad's supposed to be getting me a new tank here. In fact, I can see him in the truck down there. Looks like he just started it and he's taking it out, which is good because I got about 6 acres left until I'm out. So I can probably get back down to that end and that's it. Okay, here we go. Last tank. So I actually got a minute or 2 here while I'm waiting for my dad. I don't smell any fumes right here. So I just posted a TikTok about this Aggro GPS receiver. And throughout the day, I have gotten more and more respect for it because it is absolutely amazing. Just from using it, I think it blows, or I think it's better than our 6000's radio RTK by far. It's perfect every single time. And so I made a TikTok about it, and there's a ton of people that immediately started calling it the S word. I don't want to say it and get demonetized here on YouTube, but here's the thing. Don't start calling it crap unless you test it out. I mean, I was a little bit skeptical when I first tried it out, and it's actually really good. I'm really impressed by it, and I just learned they actually have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're on the fence and you don't know whether you can trust me or not, try it out. Don't like it in 30 days, send it back. That's all I gotta say. But I like it. I like it a lot. It performed better. Here's the thing. I think it performed better on a straight track in here than our Autopath has been doing on the sprayer. Actually, I know it performed better on a straight track in this field than our Autopath has been on our sprayer. Our Autopath for our sprayer has not been good. The cultivator's been pretty good. The sprayer's been terrible. Enough of that. Let's get this last one on. Off, I guess. Okay, put a ladder on these things, whoever designed them. Dad looks like he's had a day. Okay, back a little further. Straighten my wheels out. A little bit further. There we go. The GPS receiver. Freaking amazing.
Really?
It is doing a better job straight tracking through this than the sprayer does autopathing. Way better job.
You have no cell phone service here.
No, and it's absolutely.
In fact, I've had very
bad.
Poor.
It's
poor cell phone service all day long.
I'm dead serious. That receiver blows our 6000s out of the water.
Okay.
So.
Well, good.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty happy. All right. Well, I'm gonna finish this and go home then. One last time. Da, 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 da. The one. Something. I don't know. Some Ariana Grande song. An old one. Well, there we go, guys. Just finished her up. And if you're interested and looking into it, Aggro GPS receiver, make sure you guys click the link down in the description below. Check them out, and I'll see you in the next one.